Welcome to winter solstice. What a beautiful winter's day we have today. It's absolutely stunning. So we are on our rites of passage journey, going through the medicine wheel, working our way through all of the goddesses. And today, with this winter solstice, this longest night of the year, of the whole year, and the shortest day of the year, we get to experience the goddess Styx. And this is in our Inanna journey. And if you've been following, you know that Inanna hears the call and then she prepares herself to go on a journey to the underworld. As we were moving through autumn equinox and through this last month or so, we've been working with the goddess Aphrodite as she was walking through all of the gateways to get to the underworld. And through each of those gateways, she was relinquishing, she was letting go of something that was important to her, a part of her identity, something that gave her courage and strength and helped to ground her. So she had to journey into the underworld. She had to let these things go. She had to let her old identity go so that when she arrived in the underworld, which is what we're doing today with the winter solstice, she arrives naked and vulnerable, exhausted. She's going through a trial by fire as she went through those 7 gateways of initiation into the underworld. So when we arrive here with the goddess Styx in the south of the medicine wheel, this is a place of trust and truth and integrity. But this is also the place where Inanna dies. She meets her sister Ereshkigal, which represents her unconscious self that's been neglected, and Ereshkigal kills her and hangs Inanna's corpse up on a hook in the corner, of the throne room. So, for us, that symbolizes death, a death of sorts. And with Aphrodite's journey, Inanna's journey down through those 7 gateways, where we were stripped back to the essence of who we are. One of the perfect and most beautiful analogies I know I've already mentioned is the caterpillar and the cocoon and the butterfly. So this journey so far, we've still been the caterpillar. And I guess as Aphrodite was walking through those 7 gateways to the underworld, she was weaving the cocoon around herself. That was part of the journey into the underworld. So right now, we're represented and symbolized by being in the cocoon. We are the gooey mess in the cocoon. This is the dark night of the soul. This is the really crunchy bit of the journey, and it's perfect. We need this dark night of the soul. It's corresponds with our darkest night, our longest night of the year. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to go inside, connect with our inner essence, know that we're no longer the caterpillar, but we're not yet the butterfly. We are that gooey mess in the cocoon made up of imaginal cells. So we have the potential to be everything and anything, but right now we don't have to be any of it. We can just surrender, I guess is the best word. We can just surrender to this experience, surrender to the birthing that wants to take place. We don't have to know what that's going to be like. We don't have to try and label all of the parts of the unknown. All we need to do is know that we were something that no longer serves us, and we're going to become something even more amazing that is more in touch with the essence and beauty of who we are in our natural selves. But in this moment, as the gooey mess, as the corpse that's hung on the hook, you don't have to be striving or trying to be anything. Just allow it to be, allow it to naturally unfold into what it authentically wants to be, that natural evolution of self and soul. So they really are the main points of what I wanted to share with where we are in our medicine wheel and our rites of passage. We're halfway through. We've gone through Bast and Lakshmi and Aphrodite, and now we've landed in Styx. And this is also a place where we let go of karmic stories. So the south is the place of the story, and it's a place of trust and truth and our inner essence and our innocence, and also a place of having balanced emotions. We operate better from here if our emotions are balanced. So that's why surrender also comes in. And because it is the place of the story, a place where we can let go of that karmic story, where we're learning through pain and where we're in reaction all of the time. And when you open up the book, you know, the future's already written. These are the lessons I need to learn in this lifetime. When we land in Styx, when we land in the south here, this is where we get to start writing our dharmic story. So that's where we learn through pleasure. And that's where we're writing the book as we go. We're learning the dance steps as we go. We're responding in the moment, having a trust in our own ability to be able to handle what comes in. Hi, Brittany. So, it's a really powerful place to be. And because we do have the winter solstice coinciding with this, and we also have a new moon in Cancer, Cancer's about all of the feelings, and it's a solar eclipse. So, there's just this triple whammy of darkness and introspection and feeling. So, really, I would encourage today and these days that have been before and these days that are coming after, to go deep, to just imagine what it would be like to be that gooey mess in the cocoon where you don't have to try and be anything. There's no label that you have to fulfill. There's no particular responsibilities or belief systems that you're trying to meet. You're dying to your old way of being, but you're not yet the new way. Like, just allow that pause between breaths, whether it's the in breath or the out breath, that pause between the breath, that's where we are in this dark night of the soul. So enjoy it, embrace it. It's permission to be nothing and everything, and to be quiet and silent and alone if you need to. Be with family. Come back to the core essence, the most important things in your world and in your life. This is winter, and it's the time, where we just come down to the hub of our family. We all gather around, the hearth in the fireplace in the kitchen or in the family home. We come back to the heart of it, the hearth of it. So that would be my encouragement for this time. You know that there is more information if you join our She Temple group, and you can go through all of the units that take us through the goddesses so that you can enjoy this rites of passage journey a little more deeply and understand it not just as a seasonal rites of passage and journey through the wheel of the year, but you can also condense this journey down to any time that you're going through, milestones and transformations and transitions and personal rites of passage. So, that can be anything from giving birth, changing careers, relationships forming or ending, marriages, divorces, all of those sorts of things. So, it's a really, really powerful journey, this. And I love corresponding it to our seasons, and it works really well here in the Southern Hemisphere and how our seasons align with the wheel of the year. But it's also so, so perfect to just be able to have a look at where you are in that rites of passage journey if you've been going through something transformational yourself, whether it's good or what you might feel as bad. It's all so completely valid and important. So I would ask you to really embrace this shadow side, because that's what's happening. We're in the underworld, and know that it is equal to the light. We cannot have the light without the darkness. We cannot see the stars without the nighttime. So, just really understand that part of the journey. And let me just check. Is there anything else that I wanted to go through? No, it's winter solstice. We need to die to our old way of being, but don't worry about what you're going to become yet. We are the goo in the cocoon. Embrace it, surrender to it as we go through this dark night of the soul. We're in the south of the medicine. We also are embracing the goddess Styx. She's beautiful. She's trust. She's truth. She's integrity. She is the goddess of the oath binding waters, like you just can't get more grounded and solid than her. And, knowing that we can write this new story, this dharmic story, and thinking, imagining, we're in the imagine ourselves, thinking about what that can be, but not trying to force that story out yet. We're in Dharma now. We can write it as we go. There's no pressure. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you, Brittany, for your comments. I know it's such a powerful time right now. And for any of you watching now or watching later, please feel free to put any feedback or questions. I always come back to these lives so that I can, give you a little bit more insight. But I also really love to hear about where you're at right now. Like, it's so powerful for me to see how this resonates for each of you because, we are going through it together. There is a collective unconscious, and it can be a collective conscious if we choose it to be. And there is an emotional resonance that happens between all of us, especially those of us who are doing the work. And I know that anyone who's watching this is already doing the work. So, we are family, we are tribe, and we're here to hold space for each other, to hear each other, to see each other, and to be seen in these dark places that might feel really crunchy, but we know it's where the greatest gifts come from. So, thank you for spending some of your Sunday morning with me, or whenever it might be that you're watching this. Feel free to come over and join our She Temple group if you want to go even deeper into these teachings. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So thank you. Have a beautiful weekend and beautiful winter solstice. Maybe do a little ritual or something like that to really ground the energy in. And I'll see you again soon. Okay, lots of love.